Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the FIFA Flow podcast. Welcome to season 3, episode 34 of the podcast. Today, guys, we have a bit of a shorter episode. It's still gonna be the usual episode where we talk about football and stuff, but I don't think we're gonna hit the 1 hour mark today. I mean, we said that last time, and then we went over. I think we went 30 minutes over what I expected. So we never know. We never know. It depends on the rants I might go on about, the review, of course. Today, guys. Not much news to talk about. It's mainly going to be post-match talks regarding Chelsea, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Paris Saint-Germain. Those are the 5 clubs I want to talk about. We're going to look at other games like Arsenal versus Everton, as well as Manchester City versus Tottenham Hotspurs. But the 5 clubs I mentioned just a moment ago, those are the clubs I want to actually go more into depth about the team itself, about the players in the team. And yeah, that's mainly it. We also have some news, Twitter news regarding all of them, regarding Paris Saint-Germain, of course. This weekend, the past week, since our last podcast 5 days ago, we've had 2 PSG games, and both of them I think is really impactful. It could change the way PSG play from now on, and I hope that at least the review, I guess what I get from these 2 games can really change. You'll see when we get there. Yeah, you'll see when we get there. But yeah, as I said, post-match talks for the past week, and then some PSG Twitter news, guys. I'm also hoping that next Friday, actually either Friday or Saturday, or like the upcoming Friday or Saturday, that we do a post UCL or a pre UCL review, a pre UCL talks with a special guest. It might be Gareth again, but maybe a new guest. Hopefully, I don't think. I think Gareth has been our only guest, and I'm hoping we can get a new guest for a while. But man, like life has been pretty hard nowadays. Grade 12 and stuff, pre-cal 12, chemistry 12. Man, such pain, so much homework. Of course, I got my real life football to do, like in my team. So just very busy, a lot. But yeah, hopefully and like not just me, but even my peers, my friends, who go to my school. Those are the other special guests I'm hoping to get on as well. But they're also busy. They're all in grade 12 as well. I also wanted to mention. So yeah, I think on Saturday we're gonna do a pre UCL review or like talks, probably with Gareth. So stay tuned. Instagram link down below, both my personal and of course the podcast Instagram. And then on Sunday I'm gonna do another weekly podcast. So you know how every week we go through the past week's news. I'm gonna do one of those podcasts. So Saturday and Sunday we might have a double podcast next weekend. So stay tuned, guys. But yeah, UCL coming up. I'm pretty excited. What I'm also excited about is, guys, I'm very excited. We hit 30 subscribers on the YouTube. Of course, it's kind of weird to say, like, you know how, like, I don't know. I'm not saying like this is bad, of course. Like, you can say like, oh, like 30. You know how people are celebrating, oh, the 10 million, Mr. Beast 100 million. But for me, I'm just doing this for, I guess for fun. I like to give my opinion and stuff, kind of communicate football to the rest of the world. I want to see what you guys think about it. So I just do this for myself. Like I do it for football fans. If you enjoy this, I appreciate it. I do this for myself. I want to express my thoughts on football. I also want to let you guys know what's going on in the football world, so you can also be involved in, I guess, in this football community. So it's for you and both for myself to express my, I guess, my thoughts and emotions on my reviews on football, of course. So yeah, thank you so much. 30 subscribers, guys. I think 2021 summer, in the summer of 2021, we started this podcast. So it's about one and a bit years. So pretty crazy. 30 subscribers. Thank you so much. On my last podcast, I said, can we hit 30? I think we were at 28. I said, can we hit 30 before my birthday on February 20th, in 15 days? And yeah, we hit it. So thank you so much, guys. I mean, I guess the next mark is just going up and up and up. So I think now we're gonna hit a mark. I think maybe by the summer. I think that our next goal is to hit maybe 40 subscribers by the summer. Let's see if we can do it, guys. But yeah, let's just get right into the podcast. Thank you so much for the support. But yeah, enough talking. Let's get right into the football part of the podcast and actually talk about the past week's football stuff rather than the podcast itself. Guys, I'm very, very disappointed. Chelsea, Potter Ball, Todd B, man. What the heck is this? Is what you call American spending. Todd B tactics, man. The Todd B tax. This is the American Todd B tax. You also got the Potter Ball, man. The Potter Ball tactics does not work at all, man. All Chelsea can do, side to side to side to side. Very, I guess you can say they did play very sluggish. I'd have to say, Mudryk, man, what were you doing, man? Mudryk, your first game, you're on his debut just last week or 2 weeks ago. This guy, man, he was the next Hazard. But I mean, this game you could say he was a bit unlucky. But man, I mean, who was that other game against? Who was his debut against? I think was it against Liverpool? I think it was against Liverpool. I'm pretty sure this guy's debut was against Liverpool, and he did better. Was it Mudryk, and he did better than he did against Fulham. That is sad. That is really sad. Of course, Enzo Fernandez, now the third most expensive signing in the history of the sport. I think he's now the number one most expensive signing in the Premier League. And he did decent. I think he got like a 7 rating on FOTMob or 7.5 rating on FOTMob. But I expected, I don't know. I think what made him have, like, I expected, 8.5 or like above 8, like 8.3, 8.4. Because they signed him, he's now their most expensive. And he needs to live up to that potential. Third most expensive. He's higher than, I think, Messi and I think Neymar. I think he's more in, actually no, not Neymar. Neymar was like 200 million. I think Neymar is like the second most expensive. Who's the first? I wonder who the first. It might be Neymar first, and then would it be Lukaku second? It could be Lukaku second. Highest transfer fee. Oh no, not soccer, guys. That's the S word. We don't say that here. Football. Yeah, Neymar is the most expensive. Zhao, okay, then Mbappe looks like. And then I think now, how much was Enzo in euros? Enzo transfer 121, but it says over here, Benfica 126. I guess if you look at it, like, I think if you put it to perspective, all of the, like, if you put it to perspective, like, if you say like inflation, of course the inflation. So I think I'm not sure if it was in that year. So 2017, 222 million compared to now, it's gonna be like 300 million. You get what I mean? So I'm not sure if Enzo is the highest. I think he's third, unless it's like fourth or fifth or something. Could be something like that. But then over here it says Lukaku overtook Neymar's world record for the highest fee combined when he reached. Oh yeah, I'm not really sure. I know he's up there for sure. Definitely top 10. What I'm trying to get here, guys, overall, that took a long time. Unnecessary. But what I'm trying to see here is I think he should have done better. I think another thing why he, on his debut game against Fulham, why he didn't do as good as I expected. I mean, he was still definitely better than the rest of the team. But that's the reason, is because the rest of the team weren't, I guess, putting their all into it. You get what I mean? Guys, I think Chelsea, I think they have the talent, but I think tactically, I think they're missing something. I think it could be the tactics, but it also could be the players as well, man. Like Gallagher, Ziyech, man. I mean Ziyech, man. If Ziyech went to PSG, man, Chelsea fraudulent in the last hours of the transfer window last week. We go to Chelsea. We say, oh, can we sign Ziyech on a half season loan till the end of this season? And then they go ahead and submit 3 wrong, incorrect, I guess, documents, which then makes the signing not possible. Fraudulent stuff. And what I want to say about Ziyech is he is such a baller, man. I think at PSG, the link up he would have with Hakimi, with his Moroccan mate. I think with the attack, he's kind of like a Messi, not Messi. He's not Messi exactly, but I think that he plays similar to Messi. He's agile. he has some physical presence, um, and I think his creative ability is key, and I think that's what we need, our creative ability. And we'll get to PSG soon, because that's what we're lacking. I think we're still lacking. Yes, we did win the past 2 games this past week, but I think we're still missing the creative ability. So yeah, they have ballers, man, like Mudryk. You saw against Liverpool his debut. Enzo Fernandez in the world. There is a World Cup tax, but I think Enzo is still a good player. Plus the World Cup tax, but I still don't think 120 million is. I don't think that's worth it. But I think he's still a good baller. I think he's still good. So he has some, like, I guess he has some, what can you say? He has some, like, shine in him, some futureness in him. Is that the word I'm looking for? And then, like, I think, I don't know, Koulibaly, man, Sterling, like all these guys, like, man. I think these players have talents. That's what I'm looking for. They have talents, but it's not being used correctly for the way that they play. I think tactically as well, and I guess it's just, I don't know. It's just not there. It's really, I don't know how to explain it. They played awful though. They had some really easy chances, and man, oh man, they missed. Who is it? I think it's, what's it? This guy here, man. I think it's this guy here. So it's an over top through ball. Oh, did we just? It was an over top through ball in behind the Fulham defense. He goes past the keeper. He does like a heel to heel past the keeper. Literally has an open. He does a fake shot and slides one of the other center backs. I think this guy here, Diop. And then he literally has an open net and hits a Ream, man. He hits Ream. Leno comes out. He goes around Lemo. Fake shot around Diop, like to cut inside. Hits Ream, man. What? Terrible from the keeper. But then, man, when you have that opportunity and he still misses. Yeah, I really don't know what else to say about Chelsea, man. It's just the way they play is just could be better, man. It could be better. Like all they know how to do is side to side to side to side. When they do get into the attack, they bottle it. They bottle it hard. Like they have no creative presence in the attack. That's what I'm trying to say. They can't finish the ball in the attack. So yeah, that is Chelsea there for you. Then we go ahead to Everton Arsenal. This was a pretty good game. Of course, for Everton, it was a good game. And unlucky for Arsenal as they now have. They still keep the 5 point difference. They still have a game in hands though. So, I think Man City have 21 games played, whereas Arsenal have 20 games played. But yeah, still 5 points in the lead with a game in hand. So could bring that up to 8 point difference for Arsenal, which could be huge. But yeah, this game, I think Everton, man, they played really good. Arsenal, they definitely struggled. I think it was the same thing with Chelsea. Same thing as Chelsea. Arsenal, they didn't have that. I wouldn't say flair. They didn't have that momentum. You can say they didn't have that. I guess that connection. They didn't have that momentum, and I think that was because of how Everton played. They played really good in the defense, in the attack. And then yeah, I think which goal was this? Was this off of the corner? Yeah, it was a bit unlucky off of a corner. And then yeah, this guy headed it into the back of the net, past Aaron Ramsdale. Overall, I think Arsenal, of course, I think they have a lot of talent. Of course, Odegaard, Martinelli, Trossard, man, he had a few good shots towards the end of the game, like the last 20-30 minutes. And Nketiah, of course, the baller, Bukayo Saka, Shaka, man, the captain. Actually, I think Odegaard is the captain, but Shaka, the new respected player at Arsenal, the leader, you can say. Yes, Odegaard is the captain, but Shaka, he is a leader. Thomas Partey, Saliba, and Gabriel. I think Saliba, he has some potential, of course. Now that this past week, Varane actually retired from the national team, so I think Saliba, great replacement. Ben White, Aaron Ramsdale, and then Zinchenko, man. As I said, he did get a bit over what is the word here? Like he did get a bit frustrated towards the end of the game, especially. I'm not quite sure what it exactly was for, but yeah, that's the yellow card. He purposely tackled like someone, like he was just walking, man. The ball was like on this side of the pitch, and then he just tackles him, and then of course a yellow card. Somehow it's a yellow card. I think that should be a red card. Like it was for no reason. Like I guess it was like I think it should have been a red card. Yes, it wasn't like a injury or like anything, but I think like when you tackle him with a potential like a chance of injury, and then you're doing it for I guess verbal reasons, that's I think a bit too far. That's should be like a red card or something. But yeah, as I said, Arsenal, so much talent in this team. Unfortunate. I think this is now their third loss this season. They had one against, was it New? No, was it Newcastle? They lost against Newcastle or Crystal Palace, and then United, of course, and now against Everton. As I said, 5 point lead with a game in hand. Um, and yeah, as I said, yeah, I think Everton they definitely held well, defended and attacked well. Unlucky corner for Arsenal, like unlucky to concede the goal from a corner for Arsenal. And yeah, as I said, I think there was just no flair. There was no not there was passion, but I think there was just no connection. They couldn't connect because of the way that Everton played, just the tight spaces and stuff. So fair play from Everton to kind of control that midfield, like kind of like tight in or like corner. I guess press the ball. Press the ball. That's the word I'm looking for. Wolves and now this was the worst. Even Chelsea losing the yes, Chelsea go ahead. They buy Modric. They get loan of João Felix. I think he's gonna come back from his red card ban, 3 match ban from the red card on his debut. I think he comes back next week. Like the Chelsea, they spent like 300 or 400 million in this January transfer window itself. Not just the whole season, but the January transfer window. And even them losing to Fulham, that was better than this. I don't want to get banned for it, but beep housery. I don't want to get banned for it. S word housery. You know, like the British slang. If you know, you know. I really don't want to get. I don't know if I'll get banned or something. I mean, I really maybe like a warning. Man, I'm not even making money from this, so it doesn't really make sense. But Shiza housery. You know, you know that, mate. uh, but yeah, man, even that was better than this Liverpool. Like this Liverpool Shiza housery, man. Like it's bad. It's really getting bad for. It's really bad for Liverpool, man. The way like, let's talk about the goals. So, the first goal, it was a really good, really well weighted over the top through ball from I think it was from Ruben Neves, the Portuguese center mid. He's doing really good. I think him, Mateus Nunes, they have some really good. They have a really good midfield. Like, and not joking. So yeah, Ruben Neves does an over top through ball in this right side to the Korean Hwang, who does a good run in behind the defense, and then it's Matip on this side actually. So Matip is the one marking him on that run. He controls it well, goes towards the end of the box. Now Hwang tries to pass it, cut inside to pass it in, like he tries to do a pass inside. It nutmegged Matip, but on top of that, it hit. It kind of it did nutmeg him. On top of the nutmeg, it hit his back foot. So I don't know how to explain it, but it hit his back foot and angled. So this is the ball. It hits his back foot, angles this way, hits the post, and Trent is there as well. I feel like, I mean, Trent, could he have like backheeled that away, like quickly kind of got a touch on it, like to get it back? To be fair, I think Mateus Cunha and Pablo Sarabia were behind him as well. So I think even if Trent tried to do like a back heel backwards to get the ball, he barely could have got the ball as well. If he tried to, if he tried, at least tried, I think it would have gone back to Cunha and Sarabia. But you never know, man. You never know. At least try. It's better than letting it go in the back of the net. It really is better. Because even no one was getting that ball. The closest person to maybe just barely have got the ball, Trent. And if he had only stretched his leg, I don't know, stretch his leg a bit more, like I really don't know. I really don't know what it was, but I feel like if Trent just put more passion, more like defensiveness into that ball, he could have got that ball and at least tried to get it out. Yes, it might have gone back to Pablo Sarabia, my PSG goat, and Mateus Cunha. I think it's better than standing there watching it go into the net. So very unlucky. Yeah, of course, Joel Matip, very very unlucky there as well to get the angle, man. Like yes, it was a nutmeg. That's just bad itself. But on top of that, I think the unluckiness of the angle, like the unluckiness of him cutting inside, hitting the back of his foot and angling past Allison, hitting the post and stuff, and going in. That's just unlucky, man. That is very. It's unlucky. It's also poor defending. I think Matip, man, you don't be Van Dijk in the UCL final against Madrid. Valverde threw balls in through Van Dijk's legs. Like Matip, don't keep your. Yes, you're trying to kind of block the ball with the back with your other leg, but at the same time, there's a high chance you get nutmeg like you did, and on top of the nutmeg, it hit your back foot, angles into the back of the net. So unlucky there. We go to the second goal. Which one was this? Which one was this goal here? Was this? Which one was the Ruben Neves goal then? Okay, yeah. So yeah, this one was off of a corner, I believe. Yeah, I think this was off of a corner. It hit. Joe Gomez tried to get it out. Yeah, no, this was this was a corner. Goes to the top of the box. I think it was. I don't know who exactly it was. One of the Liverpool players. The ball goes this way. Mateus Cunha goes to the ball. He turns around. He does like a chip back inside, like a chip through, a chip over, like back into the middle of the box. And then I think I don't know who it was yet again. They tried to header it into the net. One of the Wolves players. I think actually I think it goes to what's his name. I think it goes to this center back actually. I think it hits Matip yet again. He tries to header it against Matip. It rebounds back, and then he just bangs it in the net past Matip. It was something just very bad again. It was like Liverpool, the defense was just standing there. It goes back to them into the net. It's like they're just standing there, like, oh, I'm here. Oh, you hit me, haha. And then it's like, oh, it went back to you. What should I do now? I'm still gonna stand here. The next shot, it goes into the back of the net. It's like I don't know what to say. It's like, okay, let's say you have this wall here, your first attempt, you hit the wall, and then you realize the wall is still there. The wall doesn't move. You realize, oh, I can go around the wall through the door instead. That is literally Liverpool's defense. It's like they're just a wall. They're standing there. It's like, oh, I'm a wall. You're not gonna hit me. And then they hit the wall. It goes back to the Wolves player, and they say, oh, there's a door around you. Let me go around you. Let me blast it around you instead. Like it's just bad, man. It's just Liverpool's defense. They're literally standing. They're literally watching the ball. They're not. They weren't doing anything. Darwin Nunez, man, Parwin Punez, man. This guy had a few opportunities, and man, oh man, this guy could have like scored them. If that was Holland, I think he would have scored it. If that was Mbappe, I think he would have done some sort of tactical like skill type thing to get the ball back and then go around the keeper and then get it in. Because man, Jose Sa, I think he kept his stance well. He positioned himself well to block the ball. And man, it was a great through ball in. I think it was by Trent or by Salah. A great through ball in to Parwin Punez. My bad, Parwin Punez, and then he goes near post. Not the best touch as well, and then it's the keeper. So yeah, as I said, well stanced and well positioned by Jose Sa or Jose Sa. I think you say the J, the Portuguese goalkeeper. And as I said, Liverpool, the defense was bad. I think it was a through ball into Adama Traore. Man, that guy's a beast, man. Not only does he have pace, not only does he have height, he has physicality as well. Those are the three worst things you want in a player. And then he has the power in the strikes as well. And you'll see what I mean by power, because man, this guy runs down the wing, he stops, he does a hard pass into the middle to Ruben Neves, and then to the right of Allison. Ruben Neves scores his goal towards the end of the game, of course, in the 71st minute. And yet again, like on that run that Adama Traore made on this wing, it's like you can see you have three Liverpool players. You have a Liverpool player marking this near post. You have another Liverpool player kind of marking this middle of the box here, and then you have Trent over here, and no one is marking this run over right in the middle of Trent and him, because this guy here thinks like, oh, no one is here or Trent is marking him. I'm gonna help this guy mark the near post type thing. And what do you know? He does a hard pass, unexpected. I guess like the defense couldn't react. Liverpool's defense couldn't react fast enough to get the ball, because of how hard it was as well. Neves controls it well. Could have been a bit like scary because of how powerful that pass was. As I said, Adama Traore, this guy's a beast. And then yeah, great shot behind Alisson. Yeah, the main thing here, man, Liverpool's defense. Even the midfield, man, the midfield has no creative opportunity. Parwin Punez cannot finish anything. I'm not quite sure how Salah did. I didn't really see him, of course, ghosting and stuff. One thing I could say here, man, what really ruined Liverpool this year? Sadio Mane. They let him go for, what is it, 30 or 60 million? I think they let him go for 60 million. Holy, Sadio Mane. That just goes to show how good he was. I think he was definitely a baller at Liverpool. People liked him a lot, but I think he didn't get the respect. Towards the end of his contract with Liverpool, he didn't get the respect he deserves. I think last year he got no respect at all. He won the AFCON with Senegal. I think if it wasn't for him as well, Liverpool are not making it to the UCL final. They're not getting that 1 point loss, with that 1 point difference to get second place in the Prem title. They're not winning that, what is it, the FA Cup or the Community Shield, I think it was. They're not winning any of that stuff. They're not getting the opportunity to win four. They're not going to four. They're not going to go to two domestic finals, UCL final, European final, and opportunity 1 point difference to win the Premier League. They're not. That was not gonna happen without the help of Sadio Mane. This guy, his dribbling, his creativeness. I think him and Salah on the wings were just dreadful for any team. I think, but now Salah, he doesn't have that. I really don't know what it is. Like with Salah, he doesn't have that. Like before, he had that connection with Mane. They used to connect with each other and stuff. But I feel like Salah's ego for scoring goals also kind of ruined Liverpool. I feel like last season, you see a lot of opportunities that Liverpool had. Mane wide open, and then Salah is just like, oh, let me go for this goal, and he misses and stuff. I think that's another thing, is Salah's ego kind of ruined this attack. And yet again, the midfield is huge. I think, yes, the defense was dreadful today for Liverpool, but I think on top of that, I think mainly the midfield needs to be resolved before this defense. And as I said, man, a team should be trying out midfielders at fullback and fullbacks at midfielders, and we'll get there in a moment. Man, Trent, you need to play in the center mid. If you play right center mid with Henderson is overrated, I guess you can say. I think Fabio Carvalho is a great center mid to have, and he's young. He has potential. Kind of like Camavinga. You see Camavinga, Tchouameni playing all the time. Rodrigo, Valverde, these youngsters. Man, just start Fabio. Make him a starter. Make Fabio Carvalho the Portuguese legend. Not legend, but I guess star. I think the Portuguese talents. Make him a starter, man, and he'll get more experience. And when he does play, he balls. I'm telling you. So I think Trent in this right center mid, Fabio Carvalho in this left center mid, and then I think a DM, a player I would like to see at Liverpool. I think someone like Tonali. What Tonali? I think Barella is cool. Maybe, I don't know, Brozovic. Barella, Brozovic. They all work. I think those two work. Yeah, I can see Barella and Brozovic. I could really see that. Would I see Robertson? You know how I always say Trent should play as a center mid? Would I see Robertson as a center mid? I don't think so, because I think Robertson has that physicality and defending more than Trent. I think he's better there. So I think Robertson stays. Trent goes to right center mid. Fabio Carvalho, I'm telling you, Fabio Carvalho, when he plays, man, this guy's a baller. So the more playtime he gets, the more better he'll get for Liverpool. And then I guess Barella, maybe like Declan Rice. I think he's good. These are the types of players. I'm not necessarily saying Liverpool should go out and get these players. Maybe Amrabat, as I said, Barella, maybe Tonali, Brozovic, maybe Milinkovic Savic. I think he's not bad as well. He's pretty good for, who does he play for? Lazio? No, not Lazio. I think Latium. Well, what's the name of this team here? Or does he play for Napoli? Latium. Why am I saying Latium? Maybe I was thinking of Lazio. Where is he? Milinkovic Savic. I think Zielinski is good. Ah, man, where does Milinko... Hey, he does play for Lazio. Yeah, that's why I said Latium or something. Why did I say Latium? But yeah, he plays for Lazio. I think he's not a bad shot. Zaniolo, he's pretty good. Who's the other? Pellegrini. I think these guys, man, Serie A has some pretty good ballers as well. Chiesa, like a creative player in the attack. Yeah, I think like Vlahovic, he needs to get a move out from Juve. Juve, man, they're mudded. I think they had another point deduction. I don't know. I'm not sure why exactly Juve are getting point deductions recently, but yeah, not looking good. But yeah, as I said, guys, Liverpool, man, the defense is dreadful. As I said, Fabio Carvalho, play him in center mid. He's such a baller, a young talent. Trent Alexander, play him at right back, and then at right back, get someone like I feel like, what's his name? Spinazzola. I feel like he could be pretty good at Liverpool. Tomori, I think he needs to go to English, and I think he could go to the Premier League. Tomori. And then, as I said, in that central midfield spot, like in the central center mid, Barella, Tonali. I mentioned those other two cams as well, Pellegrini, and Zaniolo. I think these are all brilliant options. Milinkovic Savic, so why not, man? Why not? To be fair, I think another thing, Klopp, man, it might be time for Jurgen Klopp, I think Liverpool's best legend, best coach. What he did, won the Premier League, won the UCL, bringing in Sadio Mane, Salah, Van Dijk, Trent, Alisson and stuff was just brilliant. So I think, man, Jurgen Klopp, legend. He's still gonna go out as a legend, but I think now it's really looking like it's time for him to go, man. Tactically, Liverpool don't play the best as well. So that is that there for the Premier League. Actually, no, one more game. Spurs and Man City, guys. Pretty good game here as well. Yeah, of course, you can see North London, the rivalry of Arsenal, winning or beating Spurs, beating City. But then at the same time, that's also bad because then it's going to let Arsenal keep that 5-point difference and maybe win the league. So, I mean, it's a win and a loss for Spurs, of course. But yeah, I think both teams played. I think Spurs definitely played good in attack. Of course, Harry Kane now becoming 267 goals, becoming the top all-time goal scorer for Tottenham Hotspurs. So pretty crazy there. He's a legend, of course, Harry Kane. I think the Premier League overall is very overrated. English tax, Queen Lizzie tax. I mean, R.I.P. Queen Lizzie. Who's the king? Is it King? Man, I'm Canadian. I don't even know our king. King Charles. King Charles tax now. You got King Charles tax, English tax. Man, like last year when Benzema was crazy, people were still saying, like you can hear these English commentators are saying, "Oh man, Benzema, mate, he's on the levels of Harry Kane. He's on the levels of Harry Kane, mate. Of course, he's a baller. He has great finishing abilities." I don't know my English accent. That wasn't even. That was just. That was I don't know, a Shiza accent. I don't know what accent that was, but I tried my best. Man, these English commentators last season were comparing this Karim Benzema to Harry Kane, man. I mean, Harry Kane, he was doing pretty decent last season, but man, Benzema was killing it last season. He was nowhere compared to Harry Kane for what Benzema was doing, man. So I think it's a bit overrated. At the same time, Harry Kane, man, he is a legend. He's a fantastic player. His finishing ability, the way he moves, I think his runs, as I said, his finishing ability, I think he's top notch. He's definitely in the top 5 strikers in the world currently. I think you have to say Mbappe first, Haaland second. I think I'd say Benzema third. Would I say Benzema third? I think I'd say Benzema third, Harry Kane fourth, and I don't know, Lewandowski, man. Slow. Maybe I'll say Harry Kane third actually now, but like last season especially, Benzema third. No, what am I saying here? If this was last year, if this was before the World Cup, if this was like 2 weeks before the World Cup, Benzema second, Harry Kane third. But I think after the World, Benzema going through a lot of these injuries and stuff, and recently after post the World Cup, Madrid, man, have not been doing good, especially in attack. Like I think for like I think Benzema, I think yes he's still balling, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like before the World Cup he was kind of doing a bit better. Like in the first 2 months of the season, he was doing better. But yeah, Harry Kane, man, just hit elite finishing, elite positioning, his physicality to like his one-on-ones against another player, elite, top notch. As I said, currently right now, Mbappe first, Erling Haaland second, Harry Kane third, Benzema fourth, Lewandowski, he does ghost. I could even put other players. I feel like I think Ben Yedder, he can have not a bad shout, man. I'm not quite sure how the Serie A is looking. Osimhen, you can say Osimhen. He's doing really good. Napoli, just in general, are doing really good. So there's a few shouts there. But Harry Kane, I think for me, third best player in the world, third best striker in the world currently right now. Like at this moment right now, like at 9:32 a.m. or p.m. He's the best striker. He's the third best striker in the world. So yeah, that is the Premier League, guys. It's pretty crazy. We have some pretty great, pretty important games upcoming for some of these Prem teams, of course. That's gonna be, I think, Arsenal, Man City. That's gonna be a huge game. Of course, both teams going for the title race. I think that's pretty much Newcastle, Liverpool. I think that should be really good. Newcastle, man, they're pretty good. I mean, for having this oil money, they have 500 million from the Saudi team, the Saudi investment from last summer. They didn't really spend much either, and surprisingly they're actually doing pretty good. They're in a UCL qualifying spot. Last season they were in 11th last season. Chelsea in 3rd, Liverpool 1 point behind for winning the title at 92. The tables have turned. Liverpool in 10th, Chelsea 2nd. You got Newcastle and Spurs and Arsenal at the top of the table. It's pretty crazy. It actually is pretty crazy. But man, yeah, I did expect this. I expected this episode to be less than an hour, but it looks like we might hit an hour. But I mean, it's okay. I thought, as I said, it really depended on how much depth we go into for today, and it's good that we go into depth about these teams and stuff. Guys, we also have some weekend or some La Liga games. I don't know if I'll talk about these two games because I didn't really watch these two games. I mainly watched actually the main game I really watched in La Liga this weekend was Barcelona and Sevilla. And man, Barcelona, man, killing it. They're absolutely killing it. I think the way that Barcelona have been playing recently is just beautiful football. Busquets. I mean, I still question why Busquets is starting over Frank Kessié because, man, Kessier's assist to Alba, brilliant, and we'll talk about that soon. Pedri and Frenkie de Jong, these two guys just dominating the midfield. Not just in the attack, not just in the defense. On the ball, off the ball, great movement with the ball. And yeah, great movement off the ball, of course. Physicality, their creative ability to send through balls to the attack. The way that this midfield connects the defense to the attack is just one of the best connections I've seen. The best, like, in football, you don't just go straight from here to here. I mean, that is the point. But I feel like You go from your center backs, you travel through the midfielders, and then you go up to the attackers. And I think the way to consistency, the tiki taka, the Xavi ball, the Xavi effect is just crazy. It's just really, really one of the best team connections I've seen in the past few weeks in the recent games. Same with United. I feel like United, they're back on track as well. Rashford and stuff killing it this season. But yeah, man, Barcelona. I think for me, I think Barcelona are I think the way the connection that Barcelona has recently between the defense, the midfield, and the attack, just the connection, the passion, the flair. Of course, I think the flair. I didn't mention that last week that Barcelona they play tiki taka, same as Real Madrid, but Madrid have more flair. I do think that Madrid still have more flair than Barcelona, but I think Barcelona they're getting that flair, the skills, I guess the back heels, the nutmegs, the chip shots. They're getting all of that involved. So yeah, as I said, the tiki taka, the beautiful tiki taka. As I said, Frankie De Jong, Pedro on the ball, Gavi at left wing. As I said, his defensive ability, he's not as good as like De Jong, Pedri and stuff. But he still has some defensive ability to kind of press in the attack. He's very fast. I think he positions himself really good to cut inside. You can see, and as I said, since he is young, it's not a bad thing to be scared when you're young. But usually when you're young, you kind of look towards other options. Like you say, oh, like Lewandowski, you have experience. Let me give this to you, and you score. But I think Gavi, it's not just like, oh, let me give it to you. It's not because of his youngness that he's doing that. I think it's because of I don't know how to explain this. I think it's just Gavi. It's just Gavi. Like I feel like if Frankie De Jong was there, he wouldn't really do what Gavi is doing on this wing side. But yeah, it's really like how the way he cuts inside and goes near post, cuts inside, tries to go near post shots. Maybe tries to pass into the middle of the box to Lewandowski, pass it to the opposite side of the box to Rafinha or to Dembele. I really like the way that Gavi plays on this left wing. I mean, he should be the new number 10 over what's his name? Over Ansu Fati, man. This guy Ansu Fati has never been. I don't think I've seen him play this season at all, and apparently they want to sell him for 70 million. I think Man City, Bayern, I think Arsenal. These clubs are looking into signing him. I think Man United as well. So I mean, it's gonna help their economical situations, but at the same time, man, I thought Ansu Fati would. I mean, if this was a few years ago, man, Ansu Fati he had potential, but then he just lost it. Gavi, man, of course, Pedri, Gavi, De Jong, my favorite three midfielders. As I said, the way that Barcelona play, my favorite. I think right now they're my favorite. I mean, PSG, I think we play good as well. Actually, no, as a true PSG fan, we do not play good. I think recently we're kind of getting better, but I think as a team, Barcelona are the most connected team I've seen recently in the past few weeks. So, and yeah, and then of course, unlucky how Madrid have lost to Mallorca. How do you say this? I think it's Mallorca. That's how you pronounce it, but yeah, pretty unlucky they lost here. And they're gonna say, yeah, pretty unlucky they lost, and because of that loss, now Barcelona have an 8-point difference. So yeah, Barcelona, man, different this season. As I said, the way they play, the team connection that Madrid also have this, the team connection. But I think Barcelona's team connection, like the way they connect, is it's just been better. It's just been more. I guess it's been more not important. I guess when they needed it the most, it was there. That's what you can say. But yeah, only one loss this season for Barcelona, 2 draws, and somehow this team, who has one of the best connections as a team right now, currently, is in the Europa League. That's really sad. But trust me, man, I think Barcelona will come back. I think they'll be Champions League. I think they're gonna do good next season. There is a possibility that Messi does not extend with PSG and goes back to his home in Barcelona. And if he does so, that could help a lot with the creative ability in Barcelona's attack. I think they're going to be scoring a lot of goals. So trust me, man, Barcelona, I can feel they're doing something cooking up. Now I also want to mention, I don't think that Real Madrid have ever came back from a no ways Barcelona or no ways Madrid with the way Barcelona have been playing recently. There's no ways Madrid come back and win this title with the 8 point difference. There's just no ways. There's just no ways. But yeah, that is the La Liga. Heading over to the last league of today, Paris Saint-Germain. Let's talk about the last 2 weeks, or like this Wednesday's game and then yesterday's game. Man, oh man, how bad did we play? Not how bad. Okay, let's just talk about it. Mbappe. I think it was the 11th minute. Mbappe gets awarded a penalty. First, I think he scores the penalty. Actually, I think he saved the penalty, but then the keeper came off his line too early before Mbappe touched the ball. And then a second penalty is awarded after VAR was checked. Mbappe hits the post, rebounds back to him. The keeper is on this side, so the keeper does go the right way. But since Mbappe hit the post, it rebounded back to him, and the keeper is here. He has this all open net, and Mbappe moons it. He hits it above the net. And then, I think it was after that, I think because of that or something, Mbappe got injured, like he pulled his leg or something, and like twisted his ankle. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but he injured himself somehow from missing that shot. He injured himself. And now Ekitike is on, and I think Mbappe is going to be gone for a good maybe 2-3 weeks. He might miss the first leg against Bayern. Good thing is I did hear that maybe Sadio Mane might also miss the first leg against Paris Saint-Germain as well. But you can't compare Mane to Mbappe. Yes, I just said moments ago that Mane doesn't get respected as a lot, and he was Liverpool's best player last season. But compared to Mbappe, man, like that is, it's not really like oh you lose one, so we also lose one. It's not exactly like that. It's like we lose two and you lose one. It's kind of like that thing. So very, very bad. But at the same time, I feel like for the match against Bayern, it's not good. But I feel like for the League One, it's good because I feel like we get to test out Ekitike, guys. I think Ekitike, he has some talent in him. I think even last season when he was at Stade de Reims, he was their best player. He was the top scorer last season for Stade de Reims. So now that we have him on a 1-season loan, I feel like he's gonna, now that Mbappe is also injured, I think he has the opportunity to get more playing time and kind of prove himself, show himself to the rest of the team. And he actually had a pretty good game. I think it was this game he had a pretty good game. Fabian Ruiz, I don't quite remember this 55th minute goal. Was this just from I think it was just like a corner or something. And then like the ball was just bouncing back and forth, and then it finally comes to Fabian Ruiz, and he gets in the back of the net. Actually, it was very unlucky. I think in the first half we had 2 offside goals, man. It was Messi, so it was a through ball in. I think it was also by Fabian Ruiz, a through ball in, and then it was Messi who hit the ball, like he chipped it over the keeper. It was one of the Montpellier defenders who actually tried to get the ball, but just it wasn't, like he didn't defend it good enough, and it still went to the back of the net. And then it was, unfortunately, it was offside. I think we also had, what was the other offside goal? Well, yeah, Hakimi had a screamer goal. It was Vitinha. I think it was like, was it Verratti? Did Verratti get subbed on? He did not. I think it was like Ronaldo Sanchez or Fabian Ruiz. It could have been Fabian Ruiz. No, actually, it was Danilo Pereira or Ronaldo Sanchez or Vitinha. I think it was Vitinha who passes it to Fabian Ruiz. But unfortunately, man, Fabian Ruiz was offside, and then he cuts back, passes it to the opposite side of the field where Hakimi is, and he does a screamer outside box goal. Brilliant. It was a beautiful goal. But unfortunately, initially, from on this side of the field, before it went to Ekitike, banged it in. Initially on this side, Fabian Ruiz was offside. So very unlucky there. Although Fabian Ruiz, guys, I was hating on him after the World Cup. He's been doing pretty decent. He's been, gotta be honest, sometimes he does good, and sometimes he's just, he makes me doubt him. So, man, why can't he just be consistent like the most consistent player ever, Kevin De Bruyne, man? I think he's very underrated for his consistentness in football. I mean, Kevin De Bruyne, he doesn't show up in big games, but at the same time, his consistency is still perfect. And for Belgium, he also doesn't show up. But other than that, for Man City, he always shows up, and his consistency, top notch, best consistent player I've seen. Um, where was I? Yeah, as I said, yeah, Fabian. I think in the attack we've been doing pretty good. I think we definitely this game here on Wednesday against Montpellier and yesterday's game, we were very key to get the ball in the attacking zone in like in the final third of the pitch. But I think we were key to we were good at getting the ball there, but then at the same time we're still lacking that creativeness of what now that we're in this final third, what do we do? It was just a lot of back and forth passing around the top of the box. And yes, we had a few through balls sent into the middle, but I think there was still quite a lot of passing back and forth into the top of the box. I feel like we should, I don't know, we need to like stop. We need to stop. Like, it's good that we're putting pressure on our opponents. It's good that we're getting into the final third, but now we have to try to play the ball, to do creative stuff to get into the box and then like get a good scoring opportunity, a high percentage strike. That's what we need to do now. It's not we've mastered we've the past two games we've mastered the ability to get into the final third. Now we need to focus on what can we do in this final third. So yeah, Fabian Ruiz, yeah, as I said, the ball going rebounding back and forth, goes to the middle of the box where Fabian Ruiz is, bangs it into the back of the net. Messi, guys, brilliant through ball. It was a really nice through ball in by Ekatike actually, and that's what I'm saying. Ekatike, man, his vision, he's becoming, I don't know, who's he becoming? Modric with his passing vision. No, I'm joking, but it was actually a really nice through ball. Messi runs in behind and then gets it into the back of the net. And then yeah, this guy actually, he's now the youngest Paris Saint-Germain player. I think he's, how old is he? Warren 16 years old. So yeah, I think he's now the youngest player to score in the history of Paris Saint-Germain. So pretty good. I did not see that goal towards the end. I need this one, neither this one, but I saw these two goals, and I saw mainly like the opportunities that we had. I think we had some really good opportunities. As I said, to get to the attacking third was really good. And I'd like to see Christopher Galtier kind of testing out these new formations, man. 4-1-3-2. I still think our best formation is the three back. I think it was the game before Montpellier where Neymar got subbed off. I think yeah, the Neymar got subbed off. I think it might have been this game where Mbappe got subbed on and we brought in Ekitike. I think we switched to a three back and we played way better. It was either that or it was either the game, I think it was our last game when Neymar got subbed off. We switched it to a three back and we played much better. Yeah, here, unfortunately, a loss against Rennes. Neymar didn't get subbed here. But I overall, I feel like, I don't know. But in the four back as well, I think our midfield play is really good. But then our defense is kind of screwed. And the reason I say our defense is screwed in a four back rather than a three back, because when we play a four back, we don't even play a four back, man. We play a two back, you can say, because Nuno Mendes and Hakimi, man, they are non-existent fullbacks. Yes, they drop back a lot to defend, but man, oh man, like Hakimi especially recently, this guy's been playing as a hidden striker. No joke. This guy's been playing as a hidden cam, a hidden center forward striker type player. And I'm loving it. I love how Nuno Mendes and Hakimi go up a lot. That's how football should be played. I feel like when we use our wings for Paris Saint-Germain, when we use our wingers like Nuno Mendes and Hakimi, we do really good. But then at the same time, it leaves us vulnerable with 1 and 2 center backs here. We do have Danilo Pereira, who, man, this guy, as I said, I think against the game against Montpellier and then also the game against Toulouse, which we'll talk about after, Danilo Pereira, man, this guy was a defensive beast, of course. But at the same time, sometimes he does kind of lose his mentality and then does some dreadful stuff. But the past 2 games he's been doing good, and if he does what he's doing, then I mean I'll take it. I'll take it. That's what I can say as a PSG fan. Yeah, actually no. Why did I say did Verratti get subbed on for Vitinha? Verratti is injured, unfortunately. I think Neymar is also injured, and now Mbappe is injured, so not looking good for us. Um, so yeah, as I said, man, I think a four back we're vulnerable. We're a tiny bit more vulnerable in the back line rather than playing a three back. But then at the same time, in a four back, we're better in the midfield and the final third, in the attacking rather than in a three back. So it's a bit 50-50. This yeah, as I said, we played really good this game. Let's go to that Toulouse game. Well, Toulouse. Yeah, this was yesterday, and yet again, I think we played pretty decent. Ramos and oh no, Ramos wasn't playing. I swear Ramos was playing, unless that was the game before I saw. But yeah, Marquinhos, Danilo Pereira, they were pretty decent, of course. I think they definitely did better than usual, man. The past post World Cup, even pre World Cup, man. Marquinhos is just sometimes this team is dreadful to watch, but I think it's one of our, even if it's dreadful to watch, this was one of our better matches this season, or at least post this year, you can say, post World Cup. So yeah, let's just talk about this. Yeah, Marquinhos, our backline. As I said, man, Nuno Mendes and Hakimi, these guys are hidden left mids and left wingers and right wingers. We're practically playing a 2-1, 2-1. What can you say? 2-1, 2-3-2. Or you can say it 3-5-2. And the reason this is not 5 here, it doesn't show as 5, but because of how, because of the way that Hakimi plays in game and Nuno Mendes constantly being on this wing here, it's kind of like a 3-5-2, and like these guys would be kind of coming out a bit more wide, of course. Like since Nuno Mendes and Hakimi go up a lot, Marquinhos and Pereira kind of have to cover a bit wider out as well. So you can say like a 3-5-2. That's how we play kind of. And man, I'm loving it. Hakimi, such a good player recently in this attacking final third. Let's talk about the goals, of course. Man, PSG, man, this game just showed how bad we are at set pieces. So yeah, the first goal was off of a corner, I think it was. No, this was off of a free kick. We have the wall, and the wall, it just goes behind, it goes beside the wall, man. It just goes through the wall, basically. It goes through the wall and in behind the net to Donnarumma. I think Donnarumma was guiding the wall to kind of move over, and I think he made the move over just a bit too much. But either way, man, I feel like the wall could have, I don't know, maybe the wall could have done something a bit more. I mean, when it is too much to the left, you can't really do anything about that. When you jump upwards. You don't jump to the side. So a bit unlucky, you can say, but I feel like we should be practicing our set pieces a bit more. I think later on, before Hakimi even scored in the 30th minute, a banger goal yet again. It was pretty similar. It was almost exactly the same as the Montpellier goal. The screamer from the outside the box, top right over here. But yeah, before that happened, before this insane Hakimi goal, I think it was, I don't know who it was, but it was yet off of another set piece where it was a corner, or no, it was a free kick, headed in. They get a headers to the back post here and in the back of the net. Luckily, this guy was offside, but man, to let them header it over, like to let them get it into the middle of the box, get the header to the back post behind Donnarumma and the back of the net, it's just pretty bad there as well. I swear they had another free kick, another set piece where they got an offside goal or something. Was it from a corner, man? Could have been from, but man, yeah, we just need to practice our set pieces, man. We really do. Let's talk about the goals. Fabian Ruiz, he did really good in that midfield area to kind of connect the defense of the midfield. Not as good as Pedri, or not as good as Barcelona's defense to attack connection between the midfield, but better than the past few weeks yet, of course. Vitinha, man, he's talented. The Portuguese, one of my favorite center mids. Um, Probably my third or fourth favorite center mid at Paris Saint-Germain. Verratti first. Actually, yeah, it'd be Verratti first. Maybe Danilo Pereira second. Vitinha third. Renato Sanchez fourth. Or maybe Fabian Ruiz fourth. Recently, Fabian Ruiz fourth, and then Renato Sanchez fifth. But Vitinha is in my top five for best favorite center mids at Paris Saint-Germain. Maybe top three, you can say, or top four. Yeah, I think top four. I'm really can't tell between third and fourth. But anyways, yeah, Vitinha, guys, he's pretty good. I think he just needs to get his passes a bit better, man. Sometimes he waits a bit too long on the passes, and then it's offside and stuff. And then yeah, he's shooting as well. I think in the box he had one or two good opportunities inside of the box. It was a pretty good like one-on-one against, not one-on-one against the keeper, but like the defenders were to the side. So it was basically, yeah, him against the keeper in the middle of the box, and he misses. So pretty unlucky there. But yeah, Vitinha, man, I feel like he's talented, but at the same time he needs to improve still. So that is that right there. Yeah, this game, man, Hakimi, guys, Hakimi scored a screamer goal. He comes down into the middle of the box here, and then shoots a banger, low driven to the back of the net. Beautiful. And then off of the corner, guys, we go to the top of the box to Fabian Ruiz, passes it to Hakimi. Hakimi dribbling to, I think it was through like two or three players. It's very tight space here, and then Messi goes finesse shot, top left, beautiful banger goal. Even later on in the game, Messi had some really good. He tried to get on his left foot to get a outside foot, not outside foot, but he tried to get on his strong foot to get like a curl into the back of the net from like outside the box. He had some really good opportunities. Messi, man, his passes, his creative ability really helped us in the final third. And I think the reason why we see Messi being more impactful in this game and in our last game against Montpellier is because before, guys, in the past few weeks, we've been so bad in the midfields that Messi would drop back to help the midfield to get it into the attacking third. But then even after we got into the attacking third, it would be worse than the attacking third we have right now, which, I don't know, is that hard to... That is so complicated. What am I saying? So, let's say 2 weeks ago, Messi would drop back to help out the creativeness to move the ball forward. But then when we did get the ball forward, Messi is not there anymore, so then we couldn't score. We couldn't finish our opportunities. Now, our midfield is becoming better. Yeah, I guess I don't know what happened to, I don't know what Galtier said to our midfield. I think we have the Twitter page for it. But yeah, now our midfield has been better. And now Messi can stay forward a bit more, or way more than he has the past few weeks. Messi can stay more forward, so now we can get into the attacking third because our midfield is somehow better. But now we also have to focus a bit more on how can we create in the attacking third. Like, we get into the attacking third, but then there's a lot of back and forth passing around the top of the edges of the box. So now we just have to find that open gap, get into the middle of the box, and find a clear percentage, high percentage strike. So that is Paris Saint-Germain there for you. As I said, these fullbacks, man, I love it. I really love it. But yeah, let's look at the PSG news. Arsenal Kimpembe has an extension offer from PSG on the table, but nothing is certain. The player is still thinking about his future. As for Sergio Ramos, his stay at the club will depend on his performance over the next few months. Honestly, I mean, Ramos, I would like Ramos to stay. And I'd like both of these guys to stay. I think we really can't afford to lose a center back, especially two center backs. Otherwise, we're going to be left with Danilo Pereira, Marquinhos, and Skriniar. And I think the mentality, the team player, the leadership that Ramos has. Ramos is not the Ramos we've seen in his prime days with Madrid, but I think he still has that leadership and that team player in him that it still helps out our back line. So I think Ramos, Marquinhos, I think we need both of them. And then with Skriniar coming in as well, that's going to be huge in the back line, like a 3-5-2. Be pretty crazy. And then, or like a 3-4-1-2. And then Kimpembe, yeah, I think he's good. He's a good backup when Ramos is not doing the best. Ramos, he's getting old, man. He's getting old. He doesn't have that Ramos. He doesn't have that beast Maldini. He doesn't have that prime Ramos in him anymore. He's still a really good center back for us. I like the way he's on the ball. He's pretty good to move the ball in towards from the back. He's good moving the ball to create from the back. He's pretty good, even though it's not that good to create from the back, like Spurs. But he's still good at it. Sorry, I'm just checking something here. So I think I'd like to keep Ramos, but as I said, Ramos is also getting older, so having Kimpembe as that, having a backup Kimpembe would be nice as well. Marquinhos has set to extend his contract with Paris Saint-Germain until 2027. The club is working on extension of Lionel Messi and, of course, Perez, no Kimpembe. Leo Messi, man, if we lose Messi, we are absolutely screwed in the attack. I mean, we can barely create in the attack right now. It's like hard for us to create, but if we lose him, it's gonna be even worse, man. So, Messi, please, man, continue your challenge at Paris. Don't go back to Barca. Galtier's interview after the game last evening was a clear indication that our midfielders do not follow his instructions. That is true. That is true. Yes, our midfielders are doing better, but at the same time, man, sometimes, Fabian Ruiz, he's basically playing as a left winger, man, playing the central mid area, and are not putting in the required work. And yeah, actually, this is what I was saying earlier this week. As I said, the coach clearly doesn't want Lionel Messi dropping to the deep for the ball. He wants more from his midfielders, and I do agree with that 100%. When we look at that, I asked the team to work for Leo. I asked the team to free Leo from defensive tasks because he is decisive and capable of changing a lot of things in a game, especially in the attack. We will have Verratti back soon with us in the next match. Ramos and Neymar will also return soon. I tried a different formation against Reims, but it failed. About the 4-4-2 formation, I think the midfielders feel better when they play with a 4-line defense. Also, the 4-4-2 plan liberates the fullbacks and also free Leo. So I very agree. I increased the number of players in the middle in order to increase the rhythm. Yeah, that is the word. We don't have the rhythm, man. We don't have that, and that's the thing that Barcelona have. The rhythm, the connection from the defense to the midfield to attack. It's just brilliant. It's just pure in Barcelona. But for PSG, we don't have that connection. And in order for Leo to find solutions when received the ball. So yeah, very true. And as I said, our midfield, man, we need to. The past few weeks, they've been doing so bad that Lionel Messi would have to drop back into the midfield to do some defensive tasks, and that would kind of leave our attack, I guess, not creative enough. It would be, I don't know, it wouldn't be creative enough because Messi is behind them in a defensive role rather than an attacking role. So now our defense, the past 2 games, it could still be way better. They can still put some more effort into it, but it's been better than it was. And our midfield has been doing better. It doesn't allow Lionel Messi to drop back as much now, and because of that, from the past 2 games, Messi, we can get the ball better into the attacking half, and now it's just about finding the open gaps, finding the spaces to get a clear goal, a clear shot on goal. So that is that. As I said, Danilo's work rate is not talked about as it should. He is our only midfielder / center back that puts in a decent shift almost every game. I do agree with that, but at the same time, man, when against Madrid, man, he was kind of, when he doesn't have that mentality, he kind of becomes a bit sluggish, kind of like Kimpembe, but overall he's still pretty decent. And guys, Lionel Messi in League 1 so far, 10 goals, 10 assists. I think Neymar also has 10 goals, 10 assists. The only 2 players I think to have 10 goals, 10-10. I think they have double assists and double goals in top 5 European leagues. So it's just magician things, guys. Leo and Neymar, and of course Neymar he's a magician, and now he is a 31-year-old magician because, guys, I think it was yesterday it was yesterday. No, it's today where Neymar turns 31 years old. So happy birthday. How do you say it in Spanish? Cumpleaños. Oh, we should say it in French. Cumpleaños is birthday. What is happy? I need to see you guys. I took Spanish and I already forgot Spanish. Feliz cumpleaños. Yes, something like that. But let's see in French. Joyeux anniversaire Nene. Yes, Nene, Neymar. So yeah, the magician Neymar dos Santos Jr. and of course 38-year-old, probably the best. I would say the second best striker. Man, R9 was different, but it's very very close between the Ronaldo El Fenomeno Nazario as well as Cristiano Ronaldo, also turning 38 as well. So yeah, two birthdays, two legendary. Man, February has a lot of birthdays, a lot of big footballers are born in February, including myself. Yeah, I'm a good footballer. So yeah, Falcao, of course, legend. Ronaldo, Neymar. Oh, don't play a video, man. Ronaldo, Neymar. So yeah, pretty crazy. A lot of big players, a lot of big footballers born in February, including myself. But yeah, that's gonna go off. That's gonna go. We're gonna go on to end today's podcast, guys. As I said, next episode will probably be. I'm hoping we can do a episode on Saturday where we talk about with Sogarit, a pre-UCL review. If we do not get a guest, we're just gonna talk about the UCL on Sunday's video, next Sunday's video, including the upcoming week's game, this next week's game. So yeah, guys, if you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Yeah, as I said, go hit up a follow on my Instagrams, both linked down below. I'll let you know if I post a podcast over here. And then yeah, guys, as I said, I appreciate 30 subscribers so much. It's been a pleasure recording these podcasts. 1.5 years, almost reaching our 2-year mark. So as I said, man, I love 30 subscribers is pretty huge for me. As I said, I kind of do this on the side to express my like thoughts and emotions, my reviews on football, as well as for you guys. I want to hear what you guys think about football, and I want to let you guys know what's going on in the football world, so you guys will stay connected. I'll know what you guys think of games as well, and then you'll also get to hear my opinion, my outrageous opinions as well. So yeah. But yeah, guys, thank you as I said, thank you so much for the support. For now, hit that subscribe button. Would really appreciate it. Hit that like button. And yeah, stay tuned down below on my Instagram. Stay followed to keep up with my podcasts. For now, stay happy, stay positive, stay flow, and I'll see you later. Peace.